Hey guys, here we are once again at my bookshelf. So this is gonna be a bit of an impromptu video. I just kind of felt very compelled after some news today to make a video discussing an announcement that Nintendo did. Now this is gonna be probably a little bit reactionary. Maybe I'm being a little bit over the top here. We'll get there when we get there. But first, I'm just gonna open up and just catch you guys up on a bit because it's been a while since I've done a proper update video. So I know one thing I've mentioned, especially if you kept up with the community posts, is I've said repeatedly that I was working on a script for the Golden Sun 2 video. I ended up restarting the script. You could say I went a little bit too far in a few places, and actually this is going to end up relevant to a lot of what I'm going to be ranting about later in this video, at least in regards to this little franchise here. But I do have just a lot I'm going to say there, and we'll get there when we get there, but I just want to focus on the channel for now. If you guys are wondering why I also have been uploading Let's Play videos and all that other sorts of stuff, I'll just say that I started focusing more on my art these days, just because I don't really earn much from YouTube in general, at least as of right now. And so because of that, I've actually just been focusing in on that. I've actually been having a lot of fun. If you guys want to see my art, it is GenmaTheSamurai over on Twitter. Check all of that out. And yeah, anyway. I do still want to do that Golden Sun 2 review video. It's just, I don't know when it's going to be done. I'm hoping maybe the anniversary this year? We'll see. But I do have certain sections of the script finished. Other parts I'm just going to have to think over and just kind of simplify things. So, but yeah. Anyway, we're going to get into what I'm actually here to talk about. Nintendo is shutting down the online for the Wii U and 3DS. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be a problem. If circumstances were different, I wouldn't be here ranting. I did a rant around a year ago, talking about pretty much the same sort of issue here, although luckily they did prove me wrong in one area here. But, I do have one issue with Nintendo right now, and it started off as a small issue, and then grew and grew and grew to the degree that it has negatively impacted how I feel about the Switch a lot these days, and that is how they are handling their legacy content. Now, when they announced the Switch and they were planning to do a subscription service for the online, I was not really stoked on the idea because I was like, okay, because I like to own my games, I like to support them directly, but I'm like, okay, I guess this could save money for some people, sure. But my problem with that is quite simply where we're at right now, because Nintendo has been drip feeding every single one of these games, and it's led to a situation where we're like, what, 4 years into the Switch's lifespan? I think 5 years now, actually, in like March. We're 5 years into the Switch's lifespan, and all we got is NES, Super Nintendo, and we're finally getting Nintendo 64, which I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Neryl did a good video on that, so I'm going to talk about that in a bit. But suffice to say, I'm very frustrated with Nintendo right now. Okay, like, super frustrated, because I love their games, I legitimately do. Like, I'm gonna turn the camera down slightly. You can see, like, I own a lot of Switch games, and that's not even counting what I own digitally, which I own a lot digitally, like a lot digitally. I might even go and slap that onto the screen. I own a lot of Nintendo Switch games. I love Nintendo's games. I do. They're a good developer. But, boy, it must suck to make your game and then they never make it available again for a hot minute, am I right? Okay, so a lot of you guys know I'm a big Golden Sun fan. I'm going to focus in on that, because that's what I did last time, because that's the main one I can represent here. Okay? I love Golden Sun. It is one of my favorite RPGs ever made. I think, honestly, it probably was my favorite until, like, this series showed up in my life like a few years ago, and I actually want to make a video about these, but like, which is the Trail series, but in regards to Golden Sun, it is so important to me, and the games are so legitimately good, and honestly overlooked in a lot of areas, and it's frustrating because without resorting to methods. You pretty much are screwed now. The Wii U was the only place where you could get it digitally, and now that's shutting down. And because of that, the only way you're going to be able to get Golden Sun 1 and 2 is you're going to have to go on eBay, which I'm just going to go ahead and look up. How much is a Golden Sun 1 copy? Let's do that. Let's see. What's Golden Sun? So if you're wanting like a used copy of Golden Sun 1, like a used copy, that may or may not be a reproduction card, by the way. There's a lot of those floating around eBay. It is about $30 for Golden Sun 1, and I'm seeing a listing for $60 for Golden Sun 2, and that's not counting the box or like how good quality it is. I mean, it's probably good quality at the very least, but like, that's like minor compared to other things that are also on the eShop. And the thing is, I could see that hiking too now, by the way. Now that the, eShop's down, now all of these people who have these copies of the game, they're gonna be like, oh, the competition's gone. Let's like raise the prices. Ain't it a good time to like old games? Okay. Now again, this would not be necessarily a problem, again, if it was available on the Switch. It is not. It is not. It probably won't be. I'm actually legitimately frustrated at Nintendo because, like, what? Are we gonna wait till the next console to have GBA games? Are we even going to? I don't know. Do they care? I don't know. In their post, they basically said, oh, we have like 150 games on our Switch right now, and this is the only way we're planning to handle all of these games and all this other stuff. It's like, yeah, but like if you compare that 150 over to the Wii U right now, I mean, like, maybe the numbers are better, but I can tell you, like, most people I know of don't care about a lot of those games that are on the NES and Super Nintendo. Or at least, like, that's probably some bias on my end. I'll admit that. But it's just, it frustrates me. It really legitimately frustrates me. Because I want people to experience these games. These are just some of my favorites. I really do love them. This one in particular is, it's my favorite, but like, yeah, I don't know. But even then, like, Metroid right now, which is hilarious to me, because Dread sold super duper well, despite the fact that it's like the 5th game in the series. A lot of people played it and enjoyed it, but they weren't able to properly prepare for, like, the lore, which is less important in that series, I'll concede that. But nonetheless, like, what is it? There's Metroid Fusion, Metroid Samus Returns, which is on 3DS. That's different. There's Super Metroid, which they do have on the Switch. There's Zero Mission, which they don't. There is like Metroid 2, which is also not on the Switch. Metroid Prime Trilogy is currently not, which is not necessary, but those are good games. I could go on, honestly. What other games do I have on here? Oh yeah, alright. Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. 2 of my favorite Fire Emblem games. Those 2, not on Switch. Hey, look over here. We have Fire Emblem 7. Hey, you know what? Not on Switch. Hey, how about we have, Xenoblade X. I haven't actually finished that game, but I know it has several fans. Not on Switch. Now that one's probably more realistic. That's a more modern one. Let's see. What's a more obscure one here? Let's see, Mario Kart Double Dash over here. That's not obscure. That's not obscure at all. That's not going to be on Switch. That's not, no. GameCube? No. Let's see. Smash Bros. Melee. They don't want it competing with Ultimate, so that's out the window. Four Swords Adventures. That's staying on GameCube. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. I mean, that's just a weird case, I guess. That one probably doesn't count in here. My point being, a lot of games are just not going to be on Switch. At least not anytime soon, if they're keeping the rate they're at. And the thing is, I'm saying this hoping something changes and just venting. But I know I'm like a small, 1,000 subscriber channel. It's whatever. And there's other people that are bigger than me making this rant, so I'm just going to be drowned out in the sea. In a lot of ways, I don't even need to make this video, but I feel the need to because I'm just so frustrated. Like, in regards to these games again, these were made by Camelot Software Planning, who is working with Nintendo to this day. They made all of the Mario Sports games and just released one, last year. And these Golden Sun games are 3 of their most critically acclaimed games, and they are not available for people to play Which, I don't know, if I was Camelot, I'd be pretty pissed off about it, if you ask me. Or at least, like, I'd be pretty bummed about it. But, like, it's still frustrating. I don't understand this. And this is where I'm going to talk about N64 emulation. Because this is the other thing. This is what they just branched into. This is the other problem. Lots of people have complained about it. And early on, I didn't mind it as much. But you know what? I sympathize with it now. Because it's like, there are so many straws on the camel's back, and this is just like the one that just steamrolled the rest of them, was just the fact that the Nintendo Online sucks. It does. Everyone who's used it knows it has lots of lag, and it's just very frustrating in a lot of areas. It's not the worst online service. Like, if you ever play Brawl online on Wii, that was the actual worst. But it is not great either. And to compound that is they're paying subscription money for this crud. And additionally, like, the N64 emulation, by the way, sucks. I'm going to talk through the saga of Ocarina of Time for a moment here, because this game legitimately has gotten worse with every single port. Narrowing into this a little bit more. But I'm going to start off by saying, the N64 controller is weird. The analog stick was fairly large, and when they made the GameCube port, where is that? When they made this port that had a collection, the analog inputs were messed up. I can tell you having played both, because it is hypersensitive, and it's really easy to walk off ledges and stuff when you're playing on this. Now, here's the thing, it had other issues too, like a bunch of slowdown and crashes if you played Majora, and a lot of other issues. But the real big problem, though, is aside from the slowdown and the crashes and all of that stuff, they didn't fix none of that in any of the re-releases. The inputs are still super precise. It doesn't feel right, I'll say that much, like having played the original. It has a lot of those issues. And the thing is, other issues too in terms of graphical things don't actually translate very well. Like, what was it? Bongo Bongo Shadow in N64 had a bunch of this weird, like, purpley effect on the shadow to just kind of make it, like, look very solid and everything. And the graphical effect got messed up, I'm pretty sure, about as early as this version. And it just doesn't look right. And there's more things like that. There's just like the emulation just gets worse and worse and worse every single game. And this is the one that's part of this, like, subscription service that is like double the price of the normal subscription service to have access to N64 and Genesis. And there aren't even that many N64 games on the service right now. So if you're getting it, it's like a good faith thing, which I don't got. I ain't buying it. I don't want it. Like, what are they gonna put on there? Like, okay, here's the other thing. N64, by the way, I just want to say this. I love a lot of games on the N64. The N64 barely had any games. And this is like an extra $30? I mean, I guess it has Genesis, but, like, come on. Okay, so I will certainly say this. I'm never getting that other online. Unless they, like, dramatically change things and have, like, you know, proper virtual console or all of that. Like, if they make a collection for Golden Sun or something, like, I'm gonna grab that. But, like, this online, I'm done with it as far as, like, I mean, I need it for some games, so, like, I'm going to use it. But, like, aside from that, I think I'm done with it. I'm just being honest here. Like, yeah, it's not good. The online isn't good. There isn't a very great collection if you're wanting variety and you're not like an 80s or early 90s kid that like really liked the Super Nintendo. If you're not one of those, it's definitely not for you. And that's something that's... I don't know what else to say about that. It just sucks. And I'm very mad at Nintendo right now. Legitimately. I would say that I would be like, oh, I'm not gonna... You know what? Frick Nintendo, I'm not doing any... No. Like, I mean, I'm gonna play the games anyway because I love their games. And someone, and it happened last time, the last time I did a rant, someone was like, why do you support if you, like, you don't like the thing? Why do you do that? Why would you do that? Because it seems counterintuitive. Me, expert on the internet. Why? Why would I do that? Well, here's the thing. Okay? I still want to support the games I like. What, do you want me to just, like, sink Metroid? Just because I have an issue with, like, one of their games? Like, oh yeah, newest Metroid in, like, 10 years. Yeah, let's just, like, not buy that. Because I'm just mad at Nintendo. Like, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. If you ever heard that saying. You don't do that. Like, I legitimately want to voice my concern. And that's why I'm choosing not to get this online. That is where I'm protesting. Or at least this Tier 2 online. But, like, as far as the games, I still want to support the games that come out, because I don't want games to sink. And they're made by people, like lots of people that work really hard, like the developers. I don't have a single issue with them, because they, you know, they work really hard, especially Japanese developers that like power crunch, and they put the heart and soul into these games. Some of it's a cultural thing, but it's nonetheless a thing that happens, and I don't want that to go to waste just because I have a peeve with their upper management, you know? Like, that's... And even then, like, I don't want to deprive myself of the things I enjoy, like, wholesale, either, just to make a message. Because, at the end of the day, again, I'm like a 1,000 subscriber channel. That would be a waste for me, because I can't really make that kind of impact. Maybe if someone randomly blew up my video and, like, got a bunch of things, I doubt it. But, like, that's, like, the only thing I can think of is... And here's the thing, Nintendo isn't even watching these kinds of videos anyway. The corporate is just doing whatever. And the problem is, Nintendo has a habit of making really bad decisions when they are on top of the world. And I mean that in the sense that the Wii did really well, so then they just did bad decisions on the Wii U. So then they recouped, but then the Switch did super duper well. And now, like, they don't even have to really worry about the backlash, because, yeah... And this is the other reason why I'm still going to buy the games I'm going to do, because you know what, like I said, no matter what I do, no matter what anybody does, people are going to get Breath of the Wild 2. People are going to get all of these other games, and my input no one's input can stop that. That is an immovable force, because that's just how it is. Like, Nintendo would have to really, really mess up to do something like that and make it so that things wouldn't do that. And so because of that, they get to still do cred like this and get away with it. And all I can do is complain on the internet. And it sucks. It really does. But yeah, all that to say, I'm frustrated. And I do legitimately... I would love it if Golden Sun came back. But I feel like this is just further evidence that they just want to bury that thing. Like, it was in Smash Ultimate, but it's, like, not really either. Yeah. I don't really have much else to really say in this video. This was kind of a longish one, about 20 minutes. I think this was less long than my last one. I'd have to double check that, but, all of that to say... Sucks. I'm not sure I can even really change anything by making this video. Doubt it, but hey, if you guys agree with me, you can comment down below. It'd be nice to see other people who are similarly frustrated at the very least, and maybe this video helped you guys to vent a little bit. I want to once again say, do not attack people. Now, I don't have that kind of influence to spur that, and I don't want that kind of influence, I'm gonna be honest with you, but like, legitimately don't do it, okay? Like, as much as I'm frustrated, retaliating to that degree is just gonna make the rest of us that are wanting positive change look bad. And even then, it's just ethically, I don't be a dick. You know, like, don't be a jerk, is all I have to say. But regardless, again, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll get that Golden Sun 2 video done probably sometime this year. I do have a Trails Kiseki series video that I do want to make. I will say that. I don't have any release windows for either of these things. These are just things that I want to do. So you'll get them when you get them. In the meantime, I'm going to be focusing in on my art on Twitter. And legitimately, if you guys want to support me or you guys just want to see that stuff, go check that out, because that is what's going to help support me. But yeah. Anyway, that's enough. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye.